What happens when two of music's biggest personalities face off live on television over something that should have stayed private? The result is one of the most shocking moments in daytime TV history. Before we dive into the fiery exchange that ended with Meghan Trainor storming off the set, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments what you think really set this off. It began like any other. Recording day for the Kelly Clarkson show. Meghan Trainor arrived at the studio full of confidence, dressed in her signature retro chic outfit and ready to promote her latest album. The mood behind the scenes was upbeat. Producers had briefed everyone to keep the conversation friendly, focusing on Meghan's music, her family life, and her upcoming tour. But no one could have guessed how quickly things would spiral out of control. Kelly started the show as she always does, with her warm smile and positive energy. "Meghan, it's so great to have you back on the show. You look stunning as always," she said as Meghan settled into her chair. "Thank you, Kelly. It's always such a joy being here." "Your show feels like home," Meghan replied brightly. The first part of the interview went perfectly. The two women chatted about songwriting, inspiration, and motherhood. Meghan shared personal stories about her creative process and her son, while Kelly nodded along with genuine interest. The atmosphere was relaxed, fun, and full of laughter. "Your fans really admire how honest you are," Kelly said with a friendly smile. "You've always been open about your struggles with body image and self-confidence, and that's why so many people connect with you." Meghan nodded with a grateful smile. "That's always been important to me. I want people, especially young girls, to know that it's okay not to be perfect. We all have insecurities, and that's what makes us human." But suddenly, something shifted in Kelly's demeanor. Her smile didn't fade, but there was a new sharpness in her tone that hadn't been there before. "Speaking of being real," she began slowly, "there's been a bit of talk in the industry. Some people are saying that your recent body-positive message doesn't really match things you've said privately about other artists." The energy in the room changed instantly. Meghan's expression faltered as confusion crossed her face. "Wait, what? What are you talking about?" she asked cautiously. Kelly's voice stayed calm, but her words carried weight. "Well, I've heard from a few people in the industry, some from different labels, that you've made comments about other female artists and their appearance choices. Some of those comments sound a bit different from the supportive image you've built publicly." The audience fell quiet, sensing the tension rising. Meghan straightened in her chair, clearly trying to maintain composure as she processed what was being said. "Kelly, I think there's been a huge misunderstanding," she said firmly. "I would never talk negatively about another woman. That's not who I am, and not what I stand for." "I understand that's how you feel," Kelly said smoothly. "But when multiple people share similar stories, it does make people wonder if there's a difference between your private opinions and your public message. Don't you think your fans deserve clarity?" Meghan's face turned red not just from anger, but from shock. "Are you accusing me of being fake, Kelly? Because that's what it sounds like." The crowd stayed completely silent, their eyes darting back and forth between the two women. Kelly, usually known for her kind and comforting approach, wasn't backing off. "I'm not accusing you of anything," Kelly said evenly. "I'm just giving you a chance to address what people are saying. This is about honesty and transparency, right?" "This is unbelievable," Meghan said, shaking her head. "You're sitting here on live TV bringing up gossip from unnamed sources and calling it transparency? That's not fair, and it's not professional." The tension was so thick you could feel it through the screen. Crew members looked at each other nervously, wondering if they should cut to commercial. But Kelly didn't stop. "You've built a brand around authenticity," she said, her tone growing slightly firmer. "If there's even a hint of inconsistency, don't you think it's worth talking about?" That was it for Meghan. She stood up abruptly, her chair scraping loudly against the floor. "You know what? This interview is over. I came here to talk about my album and positivity, not to defend myself against gossip." "Meghan, please sit down," Kelly said, keeping her TV smile firmly in place. "I think this is an important conversation about authenticity in the industry." "Important conversation?" Meghan snapped. "You ambushed me on national television with baseless rumors." "That's not a conversation, that's a setup." The entire studio was dead silent. Meghan's hands shook slightly, but her voice was strong and clear. Kelly, still sitting calmly, seemed unwilling to let it go. I get that you're upset, she said, but walking away from the hard questions doesn't make them disappear. Your fans want to see the real you? Meghan's eyes widened, full of disbelief. Are you serious right now? I'm not running away, Kelly. I'm refusing to take part in a public character attack disguised as journalism. People in the audience started shifting in their seats, some whispering while others reached for their phones to record what was turning into one of the most intense moments in talk show history. Kelly leaned back, maintaining a calm but condescending tone. I think you're being overly dramatic. I'm simply asking the questions that everyone else is thinking. Everyone? Meghan asked, her voice shaking slightly. Who's everyone, Kelly? Your producers? The gossip bloggers? Or are you just trying to create a viral clip at my expense? Kelly blinked, momentarily thrown off before regaining her composure. That's a strong accusation. I've built my career on being open and genuine with my guests. Really? Meghan fired back. Because right now, it feels like you've built your career on getting people to trust you and then turning that trust into ratings when it suits you. For the first time, Kelly's confident expression faltered. I've always treated my guests with respect, she said firmly. Respect? Meghan laughed bitterly. You just accused me of being fake on live television. If that's respect, we clearly live by different definitions. Kelly stood up, matching Meghan's energy. My values are about accountability. If you say you stand for something publicly, your private actions should match. If that makes you uncomfortable, maybe you need to think about why. Meghan's voice rose, full of emotion. Accountable for what, Kelly? For sharing my struggles so other women don't feel alone? For being open about my mental health? You're twisting everything I've said into something ugly just for entertainment. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Kelly said, her voice rising too. If your message is about empowerment, then you can't contradict that privately. Otherwise, it's just marketing. That one word, marketing, was like a slap. Meghan's expression hardened instantly. Marketing? She repeated quietly. You think my openness about body image and anxiety is a business strategy? You think I made up my pain for publicity? Kelly paused, realizing she might have gone too far, but she pressed on. I'm saying that in this industry, sometimes the line between real advocacy and branding gets blurred. I'm asking the questions people want answered. What private behavior, Kelly? Meghan demanded. You keep throwing out vague accusations without naming a single thing I supposedly said or did. You're tearing me down based on whispers. That's not truth-seeking, that's cruelty. The audience was holding its breath. This wasn't an interview anymore. It was an emotional showdown. The specifics aren't what matter, Kelly said, her tone icy. It's about the pattern those stories suggest. So, you admit you have no proof? Meghan said sharply. You're attacking my integrity on live TV for the sake of drama. That's not journalism. It's entertainment at someone's expense. Kelly tried to regain control. I'm just trying to have an honest discussion about authenticity in celebrity culture. The way you're reacting actually proves my point. Meghan's voice was trembling, but her words cut like glass. No, Kelly, my reaction proves I'm human. It proves that I trusted you, and you used that trust to humiliate me. The real disconnect isn't between my image and reality, it's between yours. The silence that followed was heavy and uncomfortable. Kelly's polished TV persona was cracking. That's a personal attack, Kelly said stiffly. You're letting your emotions cloud your judgment. Meghan let out a humorless laugh. My emotions? You've spent 15 minutes attacking my character and calling me fake, and you're telling me I'm too emotional? That's manipulation, Kelly! The crowd sat frozen. Kelly's face tightened with anger. I'm doing my job, she said firmly. If you can't handle tough questions, maybe you shouldn't be in the spotlight. Tough questions? Meghan fired back. You're not a journalist, Kelly. You're a daytime host who built her reputation on being warm and supportive. Don't pretend this is about truth. It's about views. Kelly's face hardened. I'm not a bully, she said through gritted teeth. I'm holding you accountable. Real accountability starts with facts, Meghan snapped. You didn't verify anything. You came in here to create drama, not a conversation. Kelly, growing defensive, made one final attempt to control the narrative. The fact that you're reacting like this tells me there's truth to what people are saying. Meghan took a deep breath, her tone steady and powerful. "No, Kelly. My reaction tells everyone watching that I'm human, and that I won't let someone tear me down for ratings. And your reaction tells everyone that you're willing to destroy another woman's reputation for attention." The air in the studio turned cold. Kelly looked pale as the realization of what had happened started to sink in. "Unfair?" Meghan said when Kelly tried to defend herself. "You just spent 20 minutes attacking everything I stand for, and now you want to talk about fairness?" The audience murmured quietly, processing the chaos they had just witnessed. This was no longer about two celebrities. It was about integrity, trust, and betrayal. Meghan began gathering her things, her movements calm but full of purpose. "I came here to talk about music and empowerment. Instead, I was ambushed for entertainment. Meghan, please don't go," Kelly said quickly. "We can fix this." Meghan paused and looked straight at Kelly. "This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was planned. And now that it's backfired, you want to smooth it over. But you can't fix something built on betrayal." She turned toward the cameras, her voice steady and full of emotion. "For everyone watching, this is why so many artists are afraid to be honest. The moment you show vulnerability, someone will use it against you." The crowd sat completely still. Kelly stayed frozen in her chair, her smile gone, her expression hollow. "I hope the young women watching can see the difference between someone who lifts others up and someone who tears them down for views," Meghan said before walking off set, leaving behind a stunned silence that seemed to last forever. The cameras kept rolling as Kelly sat motionless, realizing that her attempt at creating a viral moment had instead shattered her own reputation. What do you think really made Kelly turn a friendly interview into such a harsh confrontation? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping celebrity moments that reveal the truth behind Hollywood's polished image.